Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Yang berhormat Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah dari luar negeri, yang berhormat Menteri-Menteri, yang berbahagia Datuk Mohamad Asri bin Muda, Duta Besar Malaysia di Korea, diaspora Malaysia di Korea, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, para penuntut sekalian, Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera sekali lagi. Saya amat gembira kerana sekarang ini di mana-mana saya pergi, saya terpaksa bagi syarahan kepada diaspora Malaysia. Dulu kalau kita datang ke Korea nak cari satu ekor orang Melayu pun tak ada, orang Malaysia pun tak ada. Tapi sekarang ni wow, kami ramai. Tadi saya lihat this new floating platform, Petronas floating LNG plant. Terdapat ramai orang Malaysia bekerja di situ dan nampak mereka boleh bekerja di musim sejuk pun boleh kerja. Sekarang ini di penuntut kita terdapat di seluruh dunia. Jadi apabila saya buat lawatan, terpaksalah saya berjumpa dan menegur ataupun beri syarahan, teguran dan nasihat kepada semua diaspora Malaysia, iaitu janganlah diaspora sampai bila-bila, baliklah sama ke Malaysia. Malaysia is your home and you should at least give some of your time to Malaysia. Although these foreign countries ni quite okay, ada yang kahwin Jepun dan tinggal di sini tak nak balik dah, tetapi majority has come back. Tujuan kita mengadakan tukis polisi bukan kerana nak nak buat lawatan saja, tapi nak acquire the knowledge, but more importantly the work ethics. This is what I noticed when I first went to Japan and also to Korea. In Japan, just after the war, I found the Japanese rebuilding their country. And when I came to Korea, masa tu Korea masih ketinggalan. Sebenarnya Korea di belakang Malaysia, Malaysia lebih maju. Sehingga orang Korea ada belajar sikit sebanyak berkenaan dengan sekarang ni dia bagi Simon Undong, tapi kita bagi kursus tata negara. Mereka tiu kita. Tetapi seperti mana kita tahu, hari ini mereka jauh ke hadapan. Sementara kita punya per capita income cuma $10,000 saja. Per capita, not per capita, but sini dah 30,000. It shows that they have made tremendous progress. Dulu saya datang sini, dia ada satu saja kereta, nama Pony. Lepas tu saya dengar kata dia nak export. I had a big laugh. How can you export this? But today, you know, they build in their cars in America, and they're selling their cars all over the world. We went earlier into automotive industry, but we are selling a lot of cars in Malaysia, not to the world. So they have made tremendous progress. What we would like to see is Malaysians who come here learn from the Koreans why they have progressed so much faster than us. I know some of the reasons, but I'm not going to lecture you about the reasons why Korea has done much better than us. But I think while you are here, apart from working or learning here, observe the way the Koreans work, their work ethics. Although their income is very high, tapi that doesn't mean that their workers are happy. They still go on strike and all that. But that we don't have to copy. But we have to learn from Korea how they grow this country so fast. Saya kagum melihat bagaimana mereka boleh buat design and fly their own fighter plane. And the shipbuilding industry is the biggest in the world. Bukan satu, ada dua, tiga lagi. Tapi even one, Samsung punya yard where I went to this morning, I was amazed. The whole town grew because of the shipbuilding. And that town has got a population of 25,000 people. But Samsung employed more than 100,000 people. So they have a different strategy, different from us, and because of their strategy, they have made tremendous progress. So we should learn from them about how to grow our country much faster. So I will stop there because I'm quite sure you have more questions to ask. So I will let you ask the question and hopefully I will answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, saya nampak I see microphones. There are 3, if I'm not mistaken. Please, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, please approach the mic. State your name and what you're doing and ask the question. Can I have the first question, please? Okay, engineering student.
Selamat petang. Sorry, so short. Nama saya Kiriam. Boleh panggil Harry. Sekarang pelajar tahun 4, sedang jurusan Chemical Engineering dekat University. So soalan saya ialah apakah inisiatif kerajaan dalam memperkasarkan lagi industri green energy dan juga adakah negara Malaysia sebagai negara yang mengeluarkan petroleum akan menjejaskan perkembangan industri green energy ini? Ya, terima kasih.
Ya, seperti negara-negara lain juga, kita amat conscious berkenaan dengan environment and pollution. Kita juga ingin kurangkan pollution dari Malaysia. Sebab itu walaupun Petronas adalah satu syarikat petroleum yang mengeluarkan petroleum dan menjual petroleum dan gas, tetapi Petronas juga sedang usaha untuk menggunakan solar power untuk generate electricity. Dan Petronas akan cuba cara-cara lain including wind power to generate electricity. The country encourages the development of renewable source of energy, and we are already there is a big investment dalam bidang solar power. But kita tak kuat, angin tak berapa kuat. Although ada proposal to build these windmills in the sea off the east coast, but we have not approved this project yet. But as far as possible, we want to reduce reliance on coal in particular, and certainly reduce petroleum use of petroleum, but we will try to use more hydropower. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please. Any more questions? Come on. Oops. Tak ada? Ada. Sila. Okey.
Soalan tak? Nampak?
Sana dulu.
saya.
Okay. Hi, good evening, Tun. Very good evening. My name is Lim Yu Huan, and I'm a second-year student majoring in chemical engineering. My question is, because most of the students who are studying in Korea are majoring in engineering-related subjects, and when we first came here, we find it quite hard to catch up with their subjects, especially in maths and science subject. And when we communicate with the Korean student, we find that their education system is very efficient in training students thinking in scientific and maths subjects. And I think undeniably Malaysians have a lot of good scientists and engineers, but I still think maybe what is Malaysia's initiative in upgrading our education system, especially in science and mathematics field? Thank you.
Well, we are encouraging the study of science and mathematics, and as you know, long ago we decided to teach science and math in English, but the previous government decided to change it to Malay. But now we are going to change it back to English, because English is the language of science. Malay is not the language of science. We didn't do much research, much discoveries about science, but we are learning science from the countries of the West, principally in English. So we will use English to teach science and math. And of course, even Korea and many other countries, although their own language is okay, but many of them use English in order to teach scientific subjects, including medicine. They teach in English. This is very good because all new discoveries are written, the papers are written in English. So if you learn it in English, you have access to the latest discovery, latest scientific innovation or whatever. But one thing that is important that I would like to stress, that apart from acquiring knowledge, you have also to develop good work ethics, I would say. Because knowledge with poor values will be harmful. You will make use of your knowledge to do the wrong things. But you must also develop good values so that the knowledge that you gain would be used to develop products that are useful to humanity. Yesterday I was looking at the Korean usage of laser and video and all that. They were fantastic. But in the West, if they know of anything new, immediately they think, how do I use this to kill people? Laser, for example, the first thing they could think of is, I can use laser to hit an object more accurately. But laser can be used for other things, for surgery even. But when your mindset is such that you are only thinking of fighting a war or attacking people, then your study, your research is directed towards harmful things. That is why I say having a good value system is very important, because whatever you get, whatever new discoveries that you find, you should use it for the good of humanity, not for killing people.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Safia. I'm studying at Korea National University of Arts in Broadcasting, and I'm reaching my final year of my studies. So there is this feeling towards graduation of being afraid of like employment and if we can find a job and everything. So in Korea, they tend to prepare us for this with more training, and there are like free business entrepreneurship like grants and training for that. So I wanted to know, like, in Malaysia, what are the like long-term plans for helping our graduates with employment or like developing careers and entrepreneurs in Malaysia?
Okay, thank you. Well, when you learn to draw, to paint, of course, it's nice to look at, but you have to make some earnings for yourself. But painting and drawing and designing is now very important for commercial advertisement, for promotions and all that. The design of the signboards, for example, requires great skill. And today you can use a computer to design, and people come up with all kinds of new ideas. And this kind of skill, artistic skill, is very much wanted. But if you just want to paint a picture, of course, there are not many people who wants to paint. They can take a video, a photo anytime. But painting is for the very good painters. There are rich people who want to have their portraits painted, but that is very occasional. So as apart from painting, you need to learn and apply it to commercial design, commercial promotion and all that, because there is a good chance for you to make some money. And if you are very good, I've been given paintings costing 5,000, 10,000. I couldn't appreciate the paint because I couldn't make out what they have painted. But they say that some Malaysian painters recently came out second in some show in Paris. They gave me the picture, but I still cannot understand what is painted. But anyway, he made a lot of money. Okay?
Okay. Can I have maybe the last question? You want to ask? Ramo, is it? Mano? Mano, you have the last question. Bro, you dulu. You second last question. All right.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nick. I'm from Mopi. It's a homegrown company from Malaysia. I have one question for Tun. What is your advice for youth in facing the economy in the next 5 years? Thank you.
Huh? Well, my advice is always to be willing to take on anything. Maybe the pay is not so good, but when you don't have a job, accept anything. Be prepared even for doing things which are dangerous, dirty, and heavy and all that. Because if you don't, what happens is that other people will come to our country. And when they come to our country, they do all this work and they become rich and you remain poor. It is important that we should take on all the jobs that needs to be done in Malaysia. When I went to Japan, I see Japanese people wearing necktie but sweeping the road because the road in front of the shop was dirty. He was prepared to do that, although he was wearing a necktie. We must do a lot of work for ourselves. We must not depend upon other people. Once you depend upon other people, then you become less independent. To be independent means that you are prepared to do whatever work. For example, in the construction industry, I find that Malays, for example, are not in the construction industry at all. I visit construction site and I cannot find even an engineer. You see, but we have to learn. We cannot be proud of saying, well, we have a twin tower built by with Petronas money, but built by the Koreans and the Japanese, and we have no hand in it at all. That is shameful. And for good Muslims, for example, you don't even know how to build your own mosque. You have to depend upon others. Whereas in many Muslim countries, they take pride in the design and construction of their mosques. But this, we don't even know how to build our own mosques, so we need others to do things for ourselves. To be independent means you are prepared to do anything that is halal, that is not criminal. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have the last question? Mano.
Yes. Good evening to my name is Manu Rajkumar. I graduated like 6 years ago, and I've been working here for 5 years now. I'll just make the question short. Like 6 years ago, we were allowed to work here after graduation, but unfortunately, what I've been informed is that the current juniors, they are not allowed to work. They're not allowed. They are asked to go back to Malaysia. So my question is, are there any initiatives or any plans for the juniors, for my juniors, to work in Korea before going back? Because personally, I feel that it would be great if they can gain experience here, both studying-wise and working experience, before they go back to Malaysia and serve the country. So, thank you.
Well, when we have a need for the skill acquired by the student, we would like them to come back and work in the country. But nowadays, doctors, for example, cannot find jobs. They cannot even do their housemanship. So for such people, if they can work elsewhere, go ahead and work. They are not lost completely, because they acquire skills while working abroad, and when they do come back, they will be a better graduate than the first graduating immediately and starting to work. So we are a bit ambivalent about that. There is no clear direction, except in case where the service is needed, then they should come back. Well, sometimes, of course, we have rules which, if you find that the rules are not good and we find that there is a need to change, we will change the rule. Thank you.
So there's a request from another student. Yes, please. This is the last of the last. Ada wanita sana juga. Okay, we will take this one and then sana. Alright. Can you please wait at the mic?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat petang. Nama saya Afika from Ihwa Women's University, dan sekarang saya tahun terakhir kerja Electronics Engineering. Okay. Soalan saya untuk Tun. Looking at my generations, I believe that I can see my friends and my friends of friends. I believe that Malaysia has lots of talents, especially in engineering and technology. But some of us do not know how and where to use that skills, especially in Malaysia, which is why we go out and become like diaspora everywhere. So my question is, what will the government do to attract or offer these diasporas back to Malaysia without them feeling insecure of the current economy, or not being able to use their skills because they don't have a place to do so? So that's my question.
Thank you.
This is, of course, a problem. sometimes we don't have the jobs that you are qualified for. I remember meeting a lady who graduated in aerospace engineering. She was selling kuih during bulan puasa. I said, why are you doing that? Dia tak ada kerja. So things like that do happen, and I think if you can find work elsewhere, do so, but there may be work coming up later, because we depend for such skills, we depend upon the private sector, not the government sector. So we are trying to encourage more high-tech companies to come to Malaysia and to invest and employ Malaysians. And I'm quite sure that once we have these new companies coming in, they will need the kind of skills that you have. At that time, I think you can come home. But don't stay too long abroad.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, but we have another student dekat sana. Seorang saja kan? Ada lagi? Wow, okay.
Hello. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. I'm a third year student studying in electrical and electronic engineering. My question is more about ABI, which is Accreditation Board of Engineering in Korea. So basically, the JPA scholars here have to take ABI with certified subjects from ABI for us to go back and do work in Malaysia. But the problem is a lot of universities nowadays are facing the difficulties of getting ABI, which they don't want to renew the accreditation because they feel that it's limiting the studies of their students because they can't learn something new, which is what they want the students to do. So my question is ABI still a needed thing for us to go back to Malaysia, or if it's needed, is there an alternative for it? Because some universities are holding back the ABI just for like one student or two Malaysian students, which they feel is actually a waste of the money for their university. Thank you.
Well, this is something new I have not heard about, because what I do know is that if you're training to become a doctor, you have to do 2 years of housemanship before you can practice. But for engineering, I'm not so sure, but the engineering societies normally would like to have some say in licensing you to practice. But that in Korea, I think it must be the same. But if you cannot get that qualification, that accreditation in Korea, I think you are welcome to try and do so in Malaysia. The only thing is that if you intend to work in Korea, of course you need the Korean accreditation. But if you want to work elsewhere, then I think it is still possible for you to avoid having this exam and accreditation by these societies, engineering societies. Thank you.
Okay. Now, this is the real last.
Assalamualaikum Tun. I am Lieutenant Commander Anwar from the Royal Malaysian Navy, currently studying in the Joint Force Military University in Daejeon. Just a quick one, Tun, with regards to the defense cooperation, I do understand that our defense policy and the Korean defense policy is not similar, and the threats that we have between both nations is also different. So with your stays in Korea and with all the development that you had seen in Korea, so in near future, will there be any, currently we have the bilateral defense cooperation, so in near future, will there be any, are we going to enhance the defense bilateral cooperation? Thank you, Tun.
Well, Korea is well known for being able to design even new weapons, new vehicles and the like. For example, this floating LNG floating plant is something that is not done by most of the shipping corporation, but Korea is willing to work with the Japanese and the Malaysian to design a suitable floating platform. So in terms of defense, of course their defense is more concerned about what the North Koreans are going to do. We have problem mainly with piracy. I was talking to Duterte. Duterte has got a very simple solution. You see a boat and you think it is a pirate, you blow it out of the sky. Yeah, very simple. But sometimes, of course, they may not be pirates. So we have to be a little bit more careful. What we know, what we need to have is a way of identifying the boats, and also this will involve the use of drones and with good photography. Then you can see whether the boat is carrying arms and people are terrorists or not. But if you keep on blowing boats which sail in the sea, then you are going to kill a lot of innocent people. So our needs and their needs are different, but they can meet our needs because they are very innovative and they are willing to come up with solutions even for a Malaysian situation. Thank you.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kita berikan tepukan terima kasih kepada Yang Maha Tun. Tepukan terima kasih juga kepada